intelligent people of the wasteland. Today I am bringing you a PvP beginner build, level 50. Isn't that exciting? Now, in this character build video, I'm going to briefly summarize what I'm going to be going over. I'm going to go over special points, perks, armor, weapons, basic strategies, the pros and the cons, and effectively how you're going to be able to use this PvP build at a low level. Hopefully I can make more character builds later on. Not every character build is going to be focused on PvP, obviously, but I'm excited to bring you this video and I hope you enjoy. So stay tuned and let's get this thing started. Alright, next up is special points and perk points. Starting in strength, we're going to be running that at 15 for our heavy gunner perks, obviously. Perception, we're going to leave that at 1. And under the endurance tree, we're going to leave that at an 8. Charisma, we're going to go with 6. Intelligence, we're going to leave that at 9. Agility, we're going to also leave that at 9. We need that for AP. And then finally luck, we're going to set that to 8 for those perks. Now going over the perks, starting in strength, we're going to be running blocker. Blocker is going to be good for defending against the melee attacks from people. Heavy gunner, expert heavy gunner, and master heavy gunner are going to boost our damage. And finally, traveling pharmacy is there to reduce the weight of our chems and our stims. Concentrated fire under perception. And then moving right along into endurance, we've got fireproof chem fiend and we've got chem resistant. Chem fiend is going to be good for boosting our damage with chems as well as berry mentats. Optionally, you can use cola nut. I've set that here. You can see it in the background, as well as lead belly. You can use that as an alternative with cola nut. That's going to reduce the rads when you're drinking colas. Now if you want to go the cola route, you're more than welcome. I'm not going to stop you, right? I'll go over those colas later on in the video, but for now I just wanted to leave that option open in case that's, so you're aware of that alternative. Now for us, it's a beginner build, we're just going to stick to stims, so let's go back to the build. Moving right along into charisma, we've got strange in numbers. Strange in numbers is arguably one of the strongest perks in the game, so I didn't want to leave that out. And then we've got field surgeon. Field surgeon is going to be great for boosting the effectiveness of our stim packs. Tenderizer is going to boost our damage. And then under the intelligence tab, we're going to be running batteries included. Batteries included is very important because it reduces the weight of our fusion cores and any energy ammo we're holding. And then we've got first aid, obviously, that's our primary source of healing, so we're going to be using that to further enhance the usage of our stim packs. And then we've got stabilize to ignore 45% of of other players' armor. That's very important. You're going to need that. Under agility, we're running dodgy. Dodgy is good for damage reduction. It's just another damage reduction tool in our toolkit. We've got through hiker. Through hiker is great for holding all those colas and holding food. It's just an all-around great perk to have. I was contemplating between taking that out and putting those 3 points into charisma for suppressors, but honestly, being able to try cola nut and lead belly, and you're more than welcome to try to swap that out. Through hiker is such a great perk for both PvE and PvP, so I didn't want to leave it out. Most people use it when we're in power armor too, so we don't have the advantage of using a backpack, which is, normally I would take those 3 points and move them somewhere else because I have a backpack, but we have a power armor, so it's not going to happen. Anyway, moving right along quickly, secret agent quadruples the duration of our stealth boys. Now we're going to need stealth boys. You do need to run stealth boys, not all the time, obviously. Sometimes you can wreck people without a stealth boy, especially if you see that they're using non-VATS weapons, like heavy guns, certain heavy guns, like Gatlings. If you see them using a Gatling gun against you, you can be sure you probably aren't going to need to pop a stealth boy. They're probably not going to VATS you with it, but for the most part, you don't want to get VATSed. Stealth boys stop you from getting VATSed, aside from a few exploits that are currently in the game that people use to avoid stealth boys, and they can still VATS you, but we're not going to go over that. I'm not going to be sharing how to do that, and we're not going to be concerned with that, because if somebody's cheating and they're killing you, just walk away. There's no reason to to keep fighting if you're getting wrecked. You know, you die 2 or 3 times, just walk away. I'll go over that later. Anyway, moving right along into the luck tree, we've got Bloody Mess for improving our damage, and then finally we've got Class Freak for reducing the negative effects of our mutations. That's very important. And we've got Starch Genes for keeping our mutations. Alright, so starting up with weapons and armor. Now I've got a full set of power armor here. I happen to have a set of Strangleheart laying around. So for the purposes of this video, I've made it all 1-star assassins. Now you're going to need the assassin's effect on every single piece. I've made a 1-star set because this is a beginner build, and I didn't want to bring in a god roll set of PvP armor. So that's what we're going to be using. That's what you need for this build. Next up is the weapons. Now for my weapons, I like to use an LMG, an anti-armor LMG with bullets exploding effect is exactly what you're going to need. If you're using ballistic weapons in PvP, you want a fast fire rate, a large magazine, and preferably anti-armor, and definitely bullets explode. And you need bullets explode because a lot of people, even PvE players, are running Sentinel's effect, which is a 3rd-star legendary effect on their armor, which means they reduce damage while standing still. And in a nutshell, bullets explode. It moves people, it moves enemies and objects, so it cancels that effect out, and it counters Sentinel's setups and Sentinel's builds. So you're gonna need bullets explode on your ballistic weapons. Moving on to the next weapon, I use a Cryolator as well for a PvP weapon. Cryolator is wonderful. The preferable legendary effect is quad because it's going to turn it from a 25 ammo capacity magazine up to 100 ammo capacity magazine. So you're definitely going to want a quad if you can get your hands on one. If not, just a regular cryo for now as beginner is fine, but you need to get yourself a Cryolator. It's a great weapon. People don't have cryo resist. Also, next up is going to be the Flamer. Now, I have a Holy Fire. You don't necessarily need a Holy Fire. Preferably, you're going to want an effect like, let me think. You're going to, on a Flamer, you're probably going to want something like Executioners, or if you can find, really just any Flamer for now as a beginner is fine. But something like Executioners is great, or Assassin's legendary effect is great on a Flamer. You're going to be getting some boosted damage against players, or bloodied players as well. Anyway, there's really not much more to say about the Flamer. It does burn through ammo pretty fast, but again, you can get ammo. This is a beginner build, so getting ammo for these weapons is going to be pretty easy. You can just hop right into daily ops. And the same thing goes for the next part, which I'm going to be going into in a moment. For the rest of the build is mutations and buffs. Essentially, you can just go right into daily ops to get a lot of these things. Anyway, mutations. I'm running Adrenal Reaction. You can look at the list. Feel free to take a screenshot. I could be running what's that other one called? Shoot, I forget what the name of it is, but it reduces energy damage. I could be running that, but I'm not. Anyway, moving right along, we've got stim packs. I'm going to be running stim packs. You're going to be running stim packs with this build. So they're vital if you want to get a bunch of stim packs. And the reason I chose the stim pack healing route is honestly because in power armor you can spam them if you need to, if you really need to, and you can get a bunch of them. I mean, you can get too many stim packs in this game by running daily ops. You get so many stim packs, and as well as you also get these super stims in daily ops, so you should be fine on healing, no problem. Stealth boys are vital. Again, I've already said why, but I'm going to say it again. You need these stealth boys. You need the regular ones, and you need the Mark III Enclave stealth boys. You're going to need those in PvP. You can probably kill somebody once out of stealth boy. Without the stealth boy, you can kill them, but they're going to come back, and if they come back stealthed or hiding and they try to VATS you, you're gonna get melted most of the time. Especially with this beginner build, you're probably gonna get melted, so don't get VATSed. Pop a stealth boy if you kill somebody. Pop a stealth boy for when they come back. Bury mentats is gonna be to find people who are using stealth boys. That's great. Or people who are hiding. And then you've got overdrive to boost your damage. You want to take that first, and then you've got psycho buff to further boost your damage. You want to take that second. And now we're moving on to colas. We've got orange colas, and you're gonna want to collect grape colas, and you're gonna lastly want to collect quantum colas. Subscribe now for epic Fallout 76 PvP, raging moments, trap camps, and character builds. Join the Wasteland community. Let's dominate together. If you love my content, drop a like. If you want to show some respect, subscribe. If you like the way I take the food off of PvE's plate, donate to fuel the adventure. Moving right along, next up is the gameplay pros. The pros of this build, of this beginner build, I'm going to say are that you can tank damage from a PvE player for the most part, so long as they're not VATSing. You can see this guy in the background shot me a few times. He's level 172. If you're level 50, you're going to be able to tank attacks from PvE players. Any PvE player for the most part, they're probably not going to be able to kill you unless they're using certain weapons, you know, which we'll go over when I go over gameplay cons. Certain weapons are effective against you, as well as certain styles of fighting are effective against you. Remember, this is just a beginner build, so I didn't just make this build. You can see me showing that I am using the perks. I don't have legendary perks on, so you know, just to prove that this build, it can be effective for a beginner. You can see me, I didn't just make this build and give it to you. I tested it. I play tested. I went out and I fought random people. I initiated PvP. I'm letting this guy just shoot me. I just want to see if I can tank his attacks. You can see me popping a stim here and there. You can see my damage is just kind of floating because I'm still reviving from that stim. Now the stim wore off. Now I'm taking damage. Damage is going down. I'm seeing how long I can just tank this guy shooting at me in his power armor. I'm going down. I hit about 10%. I pop a stim. He stops firing. Now damage values, you see I just hit that guy for 110 with the flamer. I'm hitting this random player for 110 with the flamer. You can test your damage values out by just shooting players, even if they're not engaging with you. You see the cryo does 110, so that means they don't have fire resistance. 81 on the LMG there. They don't have fire resistance, they don't have cryo resistance, they're going to take damage. Here's another guy I ran into just standing around. You can see the cryo did 110, the flamer did 110. The LMG only does 75. He's wearing Secret Service armor, which is higher level armor. I just hit him with this random rifle for fun.
It's not that I'm scared, bro. It's just I have no respect for people who try to PvP with people who are like 100 levels lower. You know what I mean? The fuck is that? You picking on people only lower level? That's some real tough guy shit.
Now this guy was getting mad we were shooting him with our weapons or whatever, so I just laughed at him, whatever. Gameplay cons. First up is cryo damage. We don't have cryo resistance. There's no legendary perks or regular perks that negate cryo resistance. So if you're getting hit with cryo later, or even poison damage, which you can, there are legendary perks for that, but we don't have that in our beginner build. But yeah, cryo damage, GG, walk away. You don't have any resistance, just give up on that. Don't get VATS. That's the second con. You can see in this clip I get VATS, I get melted, absolutely melted. I get wrecked, I lose 50 caps. Don't get VATS. Pop your stealth boys, and that's that. Now those are the cons. I just want to wrap up this build, and I want to let everybody know, anybody who's watching, that you know I really wanted to share this PvP build with you guys, with anybody who's interested in PvP for beginners, so you can get your feet wet. You know, you don't need to be level 300, 200, 100 to get into PvP. You can start PvPing at any level after level 5, if you ask me. But for this particular build, level 50, this is a level 50 build. You're gonna have all the perks available to you. You're gonna have powerful power armor. You can supplement this build with so many things. You can have way stronger armor, you know, with the Sentinels effect added on, with cryo resistance added on. You can run Union power armor for that extra poison resistance. You can have great god roll weapons to supplement this build. You can swap out stim pack healing for cola nuts. You can add a bunch of perks when you get your legendary cards. You don't even have to run this build. You can run another build, right? There's a bunch of PvP builds. I hope I can share more with you in the future. But for now, I really wanted to share this beginner build so players can get their feet wet if they haven't gotten into PvP. I know that there's some new updates coming. There's gonna be probably a flood of new players. I really wanted to share this build and get it out there for anybody interested in PvP. Thanks for watching. If you've watched this far into the video, please drop a like, please subscribe. I do appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.